What's up, y'all? It's Childlike Kate, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a Q&A on Revature. I still get a lot of questions about Revature here and there, so I thought I'd just do this one last video to wrap it up. I've been meaning to do this for a while, and the way life is lifing right now, but here we are. Okay, so if you have some lasting questions about Revature that may not have been answered in the previous videos, stick around and see if they get answered here. You may hear some children running around in the background. That's okay, just roll with it. So first question, let's just sum it up. What is Revature and how does it work? So Revature is a company that hires people who want to work as software engineers. They put you through a paid training boot camp that's about 13 weeks, give or take, where you will learn a language chosen by them. It could be Java, it could be C#, .NET development, it could be something totally different, like I think now they have some Salesforce cohorts and maybe testing, some other things. So what you end up learning and training is not your choice. It's based off of what they need from, or what their clients say they need, and they just put you wherever they need to put you. After the paid training, you interview with their clients to get a job where you'll be under contract with Revature for 2 years, making a certain amount of pay. After you've fulfilled your 2-year contract, you leave with experience as a software developer, or whatever role you go into, and then you can go off into tech and do whatever you please with the rest of your life. That's just a quick summary. For more details, of course, go on their website. You can even speak to a recruiter if you want. Like, there's no harm in talking to somebody about it if you want to know more. So what are the requirements to join? When I joined, and I believe this is still the requirement, you do need to have a bachelor's degree. It does not have to be in a tech-related field. It just needs to be a bachelor's degree, and they say that's a requirement because their clients require their employees and or contractors to have a degree. I don't know if there's a workaround for that or not, but the last time I checked, a bachelor's degree is required. Other than that, you are required to have your own equipment to go through paid training. Once you get through training, you're given equipment from whatever company you're working for. But during paid training, you have to provide your own laptop, and it has to meet specific specifications to be able to handle what you're going to be doing in training. A lot of people have asked me how to prepare for the assessment and the interview. Now, I have kind of been through this twice on 2 different ends. So my very first time coming into contact with Revature, I spoke with someone. They sent me a study guide to prepare. I went over the study guide, I took the test, and then I had an interview. From that standpoint, it was actually pretty easy. I just reviewed the materials that they provided, and if there was anything in the materials they provided that I didn't quite understand, I just did more research on my own on YouTube and things like that. But for the most part, the study materials they provide does give you all the information that you need to know. And mostly it's having a solid understanding of object-oriented programming is what's going to get you through that initial assessment. The second time I re-entered potentially working with Revature was after leaving training and coming back. So the second time around, I was required to do a program called RevUp, which is a self-paced program, and you have to complete different assignments and pass different tests. I think it has different projects within, and then there's a final project at the end. The final project is something that you build on your own, but they give you specifications of what this project needs to have, like a certain amount of classes, whatever. I don't remember all the details, but they lay out what you need to do, and then you come up with your own project that will meet these qualifications. After you've completed this project and one of the trainers reviews it and determines that it's passing, then you are able to start preparing for the assessment and the interview. The second time around, I didn't go into the assessment and interview portion of entering Revature. I decided to withdraw from the process altogether because there seemed to be some delays in getting placement with a job and even starting training. A lot of people, their training dates kept getting pushed back, and so I just didn't want to deal with being delayed any further and decided to move on to other opportunities. So I don't know if their new process is to have everyone that's interested go through RevUp first, or if it's you state your interest, they give you that initial assessment and interview, and if you don't pass the assessment at that point, then they put you through RevUp. So I don't know. Again, it won't hurt to call someone and speak with them to get more details if you are interested, or even to determine if you're interested. I've been asked, how do I recommend handling finances during the time that you're in training? So when you're in training, the paid training period, you're paid minimum wage for whatever county you live in. If you are someone who, prior to taking on this opportunity, took care of yourself primarily, you pay your own rent, you may have other bills like a car note, car insurance, things like that, minimum wage is likely not going to take care of everything you need it to. They don't recommend getting a second job because the paid training is intensive. It may require more time than the 40 hours that you are actually working during the week. And so they don't recommend having another job or even trying to work part-time. For me, it worked out that I was between jobs and no longer in my own apartment, so I just moved back home, so I did not have rent anymore. Of course, I still had my car note and car insurance and a couple of credit card bills, but the minimum wage of $15 an hour for Los Angeles County took care of those things for me, so it worked out for my situation. So you have to take in consideration all of your responsibilities and if it makes sense for you. If you're able to downsize, if you have family that can help you out during this time, see what resources are out there for you. You really have to be resourceful. They don't really give handouts on the financial side. It's something that you have to figure out for yourself. And if it doesn't make sense for you, then, don't commit to it. You have to do what's best for you. And if it's something that you're willing to take a risk on, do it. Take the leap. Only you know your situation and what's going to work out best for you. Tips for success. I'm just going to tell you to refer to the other video that I recorded on, I think it's like 5 tips to be successful during Revature training. A lot of it is, not being afraid to ask for help when you need it, pretty much. Especially if you are new to coding, it will be difficult. Some people had past experience or prior experience with development. Some even had CS degrees, and those people kind of flew through the program. Others had no experience at all and really struggled and had to put more time into it. My biggest word of advice would just be dedication based off of what you need. Don't go based off what everyone else is doing, and prioritize your needs for the program if you decide that you want to do it and commit to the process. Why did I leave? I have a whole video on that I will link in the cards as well as in the description box. But long story short, I became overwhelmed with the process and wasn't even sure if it was what I wanted to do anymore. A lot of imposter syndrome and second guessing myself, which in hindsight, I don't know if regret is the word, but if I could do it again, I would make myself stick through it, because all the people from my group, my cohort that went through it and stayed with it, I think they're still working their jobs that they were assigned during training, coming up on the 2-year mark this coming spring. Some of them have already been bought out of their contracts and work full-time for the companies that they were contracted to work for. So yeah, I think my current situation would be a lot different if I had, made myself stick to it. But at the same time, I believe in listening to myself, and I believe in taking heed to my own mental and spiritual warnings that are happening for myself. And so, you know, maybe there's a reason that I'm not aware of that it couldn't work out and didn't need to work out at that time. And I made peace with that pretty much. Last question for this video. Would I recommend Revature? At this time, I wouldn't actually. Not because I don't believe in their business model. It's because of, I guess, the state of the economy in tech right now, their clients and their needs, the delays in training. Like when I went back to Revature and decided to start the whole process over, people were getting their start dates pushed back. I was doing Rev Up in October and people were getting start dates of March. And so just sitting around waiting to start training, then they get a March start date, and then January came around and they were told, oh, it's going to be April. So it's seeming like the need for these contractors is not there. I don't know what the case is, what's causing these delays, but simply because of that, I would not recommend Revature at this time. When the economy changes and things are working out better, then maybe it would be a good choice in the future. But right now, I personally don't think so. But yeah, there are plenty of other opportunities out there. There are lots of other companies out there like Skillstorm. I've heard of GenSpark. People have dropped other ones in my comments, so feel free to peruse the comments in the different videos I've made about Revature. You may even find more answers to different questions you have in those. All in all, no matter what you decide to do, whether it be this kind of train you up and contract you out company, or a boot camp, or self-teaching, or going computer science degree, whatever you decide to do, do your research to determine what works best for your situation and your learning style. The last time we've spoken about tech on this channel, I told you guys I was done. I have since made a return, and you guys will have an update about that soon. Everything I've gone through in this process has been a learning opportunity and has made me better in each experience that came after. I would say, you know, don't take it all so heavily and seriously. Like, if you're interested, reach out and get more information from the actual people who like run the company, you know, work for the company. I only have my perspective as someone who attempted to complete the process. So there are people who can give you more information than I can. At the end of the day, if you decide it's not for you, it's not for you. You know, if you start something and decide to quit, cool. Like, the world is not going to end because of it. All of this is a journey, so I just say enjoy it through all the ups and downs, the roller coasters and twists and turns and all of that. Just enjoy it. Don't be afraid to dip your toe in and try different things. Not just speaking about Revature, but like whatever it is. Not just speaking about tech, like literally whatever it is in your life. Don't be afraid to try things. Life is not linear. Okay, I'm gonna stop philosophizing. Philosophy. I'm gonna stop doing that now. And that's it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one soon, I think. All right, thank you for watching. Bye.